You are now listening to Mondays with Mike Martinez.
Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Mondays with Mike. I have my good friend Amir, one of the leaders in real estate wholesaling, one of the guys that helped me out when I got into real estate wholesaling several years ago. Amir, let's have you introduce yourself, bro. What's up?
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me, and honored to be here. My name is Amir Halali. Like Mike said, I do real estate wholesaling. We focus primarily on novations in our market in Florida. Wholesaling's been a great way to build some cash. I'm sure you've experienced it back in 2021. Yep. It was unreal, when we connected. But, I don't want to put myself in that box because wholesaling is a means to an end. It's not the end all be all for me. It's just a way to get started. But never going to knock wholesaling. I love it. I still do it. I think we'll always do it. But like I said, it's a means to an end. It's a way to get money to do the next thing.
Is that still your main business?
At this moment, yes.
Biggest money maker?
Correct.
So let's pause really quick and let's talk about your background. Your name kind of says, where you're from, your ethnicity, right?
Yes, sir.
So where are you originally from? How was your upbringing? Do you come from money? Like, what's your background like?
Born and raised in New York City. My parents are Egyptian. Lived in New York until I was about 10. My family decided to move us to Egypt, so I got to experience what it was like to live over there. Oddly enough, I didn't know it was going to serve me a lot later in life because when I got into business after completing my education there, I came back here to the US, got into business, started hiring people from Egypt, virtual assistants to build my business. And it gave us an insane, unfair advantage, just being able to have people across the world with better work ethic for a fraction of the cost that are going to work harder, outperform, and especially during COVID because it was a virtual, everyone was virtual, so might as well. But started off in insurance. I moved to California at 22. I used to live here. Funny enough, now I don't. I'm in Florida, but started off in insurance, did insurance sales for about a year, started my insurance agencies, did that for about 3 years in Anaheim, and then ultimately found my way to real estate.
So, dude, number one, this is kind of a side note. Why did you leave California?
It was during COVID. I had 3 businesses at the time, two insurance agencies, and we just started the wholesale business. I closed my first deal January 14th, I think, or January 9th. I have the check. I'll look at the date. And then I got trigger happy. It was like $20K. I got an office in the city of Orange. And our first official move-in date was February 15th. Got the desk, put everything together, started running ads. And March 1st, they shut everyone down. I know you remember, right? Yeah. You couldn't operate your business if you were in a non-essential business. And it was tough to operate a business. You were here, and I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and I had 3 office leases, and I couldn't get out of them. I tried arguing that COVID's an act of God. They're like, no, it's not. They deferred my payments. I got out of one, but I was still carrying that cost, So I saw it through, and I was like, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to sit around and wait for then exactly, because even when I come back here 5 years later after COVID, I still see people wearing masks, and that's foreign to me. You don't see that shit in Florida, But decided to go to Florida, moved to Orlando, started the wholesale business again. Because during that time, it was kind of on and off, we're marketing a bit.
You had to restart.
Yeah, it was a time of uncertainty for everybody, but we still operated. I remember in 2020, I sold my insurance agencies because it wasn't making money at the time, we couldn't sell new business. I had a lot of people canceling their policy. My book of business shrunk overnight because now people can't drive. Why are they going to pay you for auto insurance? Suspend my payments, cancel my insurance policy. I'm like, hey, you don't want to cancel it. What if something happens in your garage? But I knew it was bullshit. I just don't want to lose my clients. But ended up selling that, and during COVID, it was just me, my brother, and a VA, and we did I want to say we did 16 deals in 6 months in Georgia in a virtual market, not knowing anything. And then when we moved to Florida, I had stopped operating the business for 2-3 months to give myself time to relocate. And I remember when we got there, I was like, okay, nothing's familiar. I've never been to Florida before moving. It was kind of
Why'd you choose Florida and Orlando?
No state taxes, beautiful beaches, very affordable compared to obviously living in California or New York. $1 million still gets you a pretty decent house in Florida. You're not getting shit out here.
What about the weather?
I will say that California has better weather for sure.
Orlando, bro.
Yeah, it's gloomy.
It's a fucking swamp ass temperature weather right there.
Well, stay your ass inside during the summers. Like, I don't know what to say. You know, you got AC everywhere you go. But I will say that the weather here is a lot better. You know, the quality of life in California, in my opinion, and from my experience living here 5 years and now 5 years in Florida, doesn't compare.
I know your ass wants to come back.
I do.
Guys, I only talk with him like this because he's a good friend of mine. So
yeah, no, I do.
I don't talk to all my guests like that.
I definitely do, but there's so much growth in Florida. And like Florida, I've been there, like I said,
it's a strong economy.
It is.
Like it's a good
and it's a growing state too. Everywhere you go, there's new developments. Everywhere you go, there's people moving. Everyone you meet's not from Florida. You know what I mean? Like everyone moved from somewhere to be in Florida for the reasons I just listed. No state taxes, that's huge, right? I don't have to worry about that. Here in California, it's 12.6%, right? Again, properties are really affordable.
I know the economy's great. When I was getting my collection licenses for NPG Associates, I told the company that gets me licensed in all the states, I told them Florida's one of my priorities because it's a huge state. It's a great economy. Like even right now, I'm dealing with something in California where one of my main avatar, my ideal clients is dental practices. That falls under medical. In California, we can no longer report medical bills to their credit.
HIPAA laws and stuff?
It's not even. It's just a fucking stupid California law.
Yeah.
For credit reporting.
For no reason.
Yeah. So all medical bills, and this is per the credit agencies, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, per them, we're not able to report medical bills under $500. But we can report them over $500, just not in California and like one or two other stupid states. But so we might be targeting Florida soon for dental practices as clients because we can still report there over $500.
It's very business friendly, you know, like there's a lot. I noticed that when I first moved to Florida because those people parked on the side of the road just because I'm like, wait, you could do that here? People freaking parked in the median. I was like, okay, this kind of feels like what America should be like. Everything. And I think starting on the 15th of next month or 16th, it's going to be an open carry state. So yeah, you're gonna have some Wild West rednecks fucking, you know, gun on hip and shit.
Like Arizona?
Yeah, basically. But yeah, dude.
Why not Arizona, bro?
I considered it, but it's landlocked, bro. There's no beach. I need to be able to go down to the beach, you know? So we'll go to Clearwater. I'll go down to Miami some weekends, West Palm, you know, Boca.
Yeah, that makes sense. And they're nice beaches.
Yeah, very nice.
It's not like California.
And there's a lot of money in Florida.
I know you love Cali. You want to come back.
I do, honestly. But I'm not coming back to Cali unless I can move into like a gated community in Laguna Beach and like have everything that I want right out the gate. Even if that means I have to like spend another 4 or 5. And I'm not saying like I'm spending time like I'm doing a bid or anything, you know, because I live pretty good over there. But I'd much rather definitely be here in California because this is where I did most of my personal development. I lived here from 22 to 27, but within that time period, I started 2 businesses, got married, you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of shit that happened in a short period of time where I feel like, okay, no, I was made here. You know what I mean? Like this feels like home for me.
So just my opinion, and I know this doesn't apply to everybody, but in my opinion, I feel like when I'm in California, when I'm home, I feel like I'm able to go hard with work. Like it's such a fast-paced state because I go to other states and I'm like, damn, they move slow as fuck here. Like that's just my opinion. You know, don't take it personal, guys. It's just my opinion. I feel like being in California, you're competing with everybody else in California trying to make money.
The best of the best.
You go, and I know there's areas in every state like this, but you go to Beverly Hills, dude. Like you have to be driving something nice or don't even fucking go. You know what I mean? So I feel like when I'm in Cali, I'm competing for greatness. I'm competing because it's expensive to live here, okay? You could be rich in a lot of places. You want to be rich in California, motherfucker, you better be rich.
It's a different level.
It's a different kind of rich,
right?
So that's why I love Cali, and I'm Mexican, bro. Like LA is a part of Mexico. I don't know if you guys knew that. LA, I consider LA Mexico. So you know, I like the culture here, bro. Like Mexican food. I can be in certain parts of Arizona. Shout out to Arizona because they got some good Mexican food. But anywhere else you go, you ain't finding good Mexican food.
Yeah.
Like you need your Mediterranean. right?
Yeah.
I need my Mexican food, bro. All right, so we'll move on, dude. How did you discover wholesaling, and how difficult was it? What were your biggest challenges? Was there anything easy about starting that business?
So the first time I heard of wholesaling was back in 2016. There was this guy back in the day. He was like the OG. His name's Nick Ruiz. Not a lot of people know him, but those who know, right? He came out with a book called Flip. It was a $10 book. That was my first like ever education when it came to wholesaling, and it talked about reverse engineering the process, finding the buyers, putting bandit signs out, flyers. It was obviously what was relevant at the time. Now we do things very differently. I'm not going out there putting no bandit sign. Like, that's not a good marketing channel. I don't care what anyone says, don't fucking do that. Get some callers in Egypt. But I read the book. It was 2016. Resources were tight. I was here in California. I lived in San Gabriel Valley, so not too far away from here. Didn't really have money for marketing. Did all the I put like maybe 40 or 50 bandit signs up and down the 60 freeway and the 57 and whatnot. And I was like, that's it. I'm going to be a millionaire. People are going to call me all day. And I started getting calls on a Google Voice number because I didn't even have money at the time to get like a VoIP. And the first call I got was code enforcement.
Oh, shit.
Come take your sign down. They took it down. I'm sure they took it down. But I would hop out the car. I had a ladder, and I would put the freaking bandit sign as high as possible, because then you buy yourself a few more days. So I spent maybe like $200-300 at the time on these bandit signs, and I bought the stakes in the ground, and I didn't even buy the metal ones because they were like $1 more. So I bought the wooden ones. I'm like on the side of the fuck. I'm like 22 at the time, but excited as fuck. Didn't get a deal from that at all, right?
You don't say.
Oh, yeah. I thought I was...
I'm shocked.
Bro, and I was like at the Winco parking lot, not too far from here, putting fucking yellow flyers, and people was like thinking, that's it, they're going to call me and sell me their house. But that didn't work out. And I was doing insurance at the time, and I read this book at the a couple years before that, Rich Dad Poor Dad, where he talked about the different ways to start a business. You can either build your own business. There's pros and cons. Like, you own the IP, you own everything, you're 100% owner, or you can franchise, where you're giving up royalties. You're not, you don't have the freedom or flexibility of operating the way that you'd like. You can't adjust pricing, anything really. You know, you're just taking someone's product and you're selling it. But that path was a lot quicker. That path is a lot quicker to be profitable. So I decided to go down that route back in 2017. I started an Allstate agency, went through their onboarding process. I was 23 at the time. I was the youngest Allstate franchisee in the country at the time. Started my first office in Anaheim, California. Had a staff of like 7 people selling around the clock. We broke every single record in the company. And 10 months later, my brother opens, you know, and now we're running both. And it was great at the time. You know, I loved it, because I was young. I had my name on the door. I thought I was a freaking man, you know. But it was very capped in how much you could grow, because with franchises, like, there's so many requirements you need to hit in order just to progress. I can't just right out the gate say, I want to start 10 agencies. I have this plan to put 2 agencies in every city, and like, you can't do that. You have to earn your way. You have to hit. I had to get certain licenses. I had my 6 and 63. And once I got my 6 and 63 licenses, like, I basically sold my soul, basically, right? Because I couldn't own any stocks without prior disclosure to my broker dealer. I couldn't open any other businesses. I couldn't even own any equity in anything. And I was like, why did I do this? For what? I'm 24, right? I'm like, this isn't the path I want to take, right? So I started planning for an exit, because I was going to sell my book. I put my book up for sale, and I started, you know, going back. I was like, what can I do that can make me as much, if not more money than what I'm making right now? Because between both agencies, we're probably making like $140 a month. You know what I mean? Full staff, obviously marketing costs, everything was here in California, but wholesaling came back up.
What's your profits on that?
At the time, we were spending maybe like $90K. So we were making like $50K between me and my brother, but I'm 24 years old, you know.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm chilling, bro. No kids, no nothing, you know what I mean?
That's a lot of money for a 24-year-old.
Yeah.
To be generating that kind of gross. But the profits, I mean, if you do the math, profits are low.
But that was...
it's not bad.
That's what was normal to the industry, because it's marketing heavy, right? I was spending a lot on leads every single day, live transfers and stuff, and... but that's what it was at the time. And I will say this, like, I just fucking shotgun that whole business. I didn't have a single KPI. I didn't know what KPIs were at the time, but I knew pick up the phone, call this lead. If they don't answer, call them 3 times.
Make money as much as you can and pay all the bills, and whatever's left over is yours.
That's
how
exactly
everybody
what
operates.
Yeah. Now it's different, right? Now we measure everything, like we were discussing before this interview, but came across Carlos and Sal. They were the biggest thing at the time in 2019, and these guys were driving Aventadors and Rolls Royces and shit. I'm like, I don't know a single insurance agent driving a fucking Aventador. I was like, I gotta go check these guys out. And I had tried a few things actually before that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a podcaster. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, thinking I'm gonna make like $500,000 a month on YouTube. I'm like, you know, and then I started.
You probably could have.
Probably, but I wasn't inspired to do it. And it wasn't in my skill sets at the time. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of urgency to get out of what I was doing and move on to something else.
You couldn't wait to build that. You have to build this like on the back of something else.
Exactly. And I'm even till today, I'm always looking, where can I take my current skills, knowledge, and expertise, plug it into another vehicle, and what kind of returns can I get on my time there? Yeah. You know, because a lot of it has to do with the vehicle. It's not so much like the effort that you put in, because I could, like at the time, I was selling $1,000 policies, $2,000 policies, making 20-30% on some of these policies, and I'm piecing like my revenue together with small ticket items, whereas with like real estate, it's bigger ticket. And there's another industry I don't know of yet that I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like it's not on your radar, where you can be doing the same amount, spending less on marketing or overhead or teams, and pumping out exponential returns. You know? I think as a CEO,
home services is a perfect example.
That one.
People, dude, I met my tankless water heater went out on Saturday. My daughter's quinceañera. We showered in fucking cold water. But on Monday, once I was, refocused,
the dust settled.
I had a company come out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're a small company, and like, it's only 2 of us." And I'm like, "Dude, you guys know how much plumbing companies can fucking make?" Like, I know because I'm part of 10X. There's a whole home service space that's like plumbing, roofing, HVAC. Like, it's so fucking big. People can make so much money, dude. Weren't you talking about considering a home service company?
I've looked into it, and I know that a lot of what we do is interchangeable with those industries, right? It's like lead gen, sales, structure, organization, culture. Like, it's the same thing. It's just a different product. But I've considered it, For now, we're doing wholesaling. My focus really is to get into SaaS. I want to build software. I love building systems for my own company. I enjoy optimizing processes. I did a podcast with Angel yesterday, and we talked about one of my superpowers is simplifying things. Like, I don't like to complicate it. It's always easier if you minimize the noise. If there's 10 steps to do something and I can shrink it down to 3 or 4 and it works and it's the same, if not better, run with it.
That's good.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm big on software and tech. Not building it. I don't like it. I'm more of an idea person. And I like to hold my people accountable and give them all the tools.
Yeah, no, trust me, I'm not coding. I don't know.
No. Like, my guy's a G, bro. But I showed you my software a little while ago. That's just our dashboard. Like, it does our software, our debt collection software does so much more. We have automation, we have workflows, and I don't know if I got to it in my office before the podcast, but next year we're gonna be putting all of my SOPs, all of my training, like everything. We're gonna have our own Trainio inside of my software, and then I'm gonna offer NPG associates offices to partners who want to get into debt collections.
So it's a complete framework that they just plug into.
So they're gonna have. I'm even gonna hire, if they want, for a premium. I'll hire overseas for them. I'll train their teams. If not, I'll give them all the training. If they don't want to pay the premium, they want to do it themselves. If they want to have in-house people, that's fine. It's their business, right? They're going to be more partners, not a franchise. It's more of a partnership, but they got to stick to my guidelines, my brand, our fees, certain guidelines they'll have to follow, but they'll be able to operate the way they want to operate. But if they want me to hire overseas for them, I'm in the process of building out those call centers for myself, where I can just, these guys are plug and play. Instead of $5 an hour, you just pay me $7. We'll handle everything. We'll manage everything for a premium. So that's something I'm working on. I didn't share that with you, did I?
No, we didn't discuss that.
Yeah, so it's my software and my agency brand and client base. So there's debt buyers, there's dental practices, there's bail bonds companies. I'm going to get into hospitals, everything. Yeah. They'll have my legal department, So that's something that I'm super excited over. You got to be passionate about what you're doing. And I liked real estate. Like when I was wholesaling, I liked, we shut down our company earlier this year. I liked wholesaling, bro, but I'm not really passionate about it. I'm not passionate about, real estate. What I am passionate about is my projects that I'm working on. That's why people ask me, you got out of real estate? No, I got out of wholesaling. I'm still a real estate investor, but now I buy properties and I do projects, right? So I'm passionate about like changing these people's lives overseas that work for us. Like when I get messages, dude, you don't know how working for you has fucking helped me so much. That stuff right there, bro, that's my passion. And then being able to have other business owners. I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, how do I start an agency? You ain't gonna be able to do it, bro. It's just too hard. Like once I have the framework, I can sell branch offices and having them become successful operators. And then eventually doing a massive exit for all of us, with my software.
Round them all up.
With my software. Yep. So getting back to you, we talked a little bit about your revenue. Are you open to share your revenue for real estate?
Yeah.
So last year, what was your revenue?
1.25.
Okay. I know that's not your best year.
No, definitely not.
Okay. Why do you think it was bad last year?
There was a lot of changes we made from the markets that we were in to the marketing channels to the team to the structure. We were virtual, then we went back in-house. We did nationwide with PPC and stuff, and we made money. Like, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the best way. I'm always looking for a better way. Like, regardless of what we're doing and the results that we're getting, I'm always trying to challenge the way that we do things, because the amount of effort that we put into doing that 1.25, we should have probably done like 2.5, 3 with that amount of effort. It was.
So that was more like on the individual of your company, not industry. It wasn't the industry. It wasn't real estate.
Dude, regardless of what's going on in the market, there's always $10 million to be made. It just, you have the team to make it. Do you have the systems? Do you have the plan? And we didn't have that, because just going from like 21 to 23, there was so much change that happened in the industry, in the way things were done, in the buyers, obviously, back in 21, 22, we were disappointing like that.
Yeah.
Like and then that stopped. That was like a massive rug pull for everybody, and there was a lot of uncertainty. And then we had to reteach our team. Okay, now we're not doing this, and this actually raises a very valuable lesson I learned later that I wish I would have done. And I think you and I had a conversation where you briefly said, you need new blood. Like sometimes you just gotta cannibalize your business and start over. That's sometimes the best way to do it.
So I've never talked about this. I probably brought it up once or twice, but I never talk about this. So when I went from 2022, I hopped from 13 million to 18 million to 21 million to 26 million. I'm anticipating to finish this year at 26 million, right? So when I'm hopping, prior to me going to 13 million in 2021, I finished at 11 million. So I only had a $2 million increase. I say it like it's small. It is in my numbers, right? So when I was successful and I was an absentee owner and I had a general manager running the company for me, I always had like the same core of closers. I always had like the same team, okay? So if we go back and we count my growth from 6 years ago, thinking that I could never do it without that core team, none of them are with me anymore. I literally have one person, maybe two, left. My executives are still here. They were closers at that time or entry-level managers. Julia, my VP, she was with me. Peter, my admin director, my brother-in-law, he was with me.
Yeah.
Lance is now my revenue executive in charge of all those closers. And I maybe have like one more person that he just comes and goes and he's never here. He's like, I think he got like a huge settlement for his family. He don't even need to work. He's just here just because he's fucking here. But everybody else, dude, like I'm talking about 10, 15 closers.
Gone.
They're all gone.
Yeah.
So, and I'm the biggest that I've ever been in business.
Yeah.
Like thinking back 6 years ago, I would have never imagined that I could be doing these numbers
without them,
without that core
yeah.
team.
And that's a limiting belief, right? Because you think that, and you also have to challenge at every single level, even at this level. Maybe the team you have now isn't the team that's going to get you to the next level. Like when we were doing the virtual model, we had a virtual team and things were super easy. So like you could take someone and teach them how to get a contract in like a week, you know, and make money off of them. I remember hiring a guy and in 2 weeks we put $200K in revenue off his efforts. And it wasn't that he was great. It was our systems and the process and obviously like the timing. But that team wasn't going to help us get through 2022 and like the tail end of 2022 and 2023. You know, I had to completely fire that team, but I wish I would have done it sooner for their sake and mine, right? Because it's hard to get everyone on the same page at the same time.
Alignment.
Exactly. You might have 1 or 2 people who buy into it immediately that don't question anything, but then you have 3 or 4 people that are dragging everyone back, right? And holding the company down because, oh, that's not how we used to do things. Well, evolve or die, you know? And I'm guilty of it. I've held on to people longer than I should have, thinking I can fix them, thinking, oh, they just need another month. Oh, I need to do more training. But one of my buddies challenged me. He said, he's like, rarely will you have an employee that does great year 1 that doesn't do great month 1, you know?
Yeah, so the way we do it here, and if you guys have teams, if you're building teams or if you manage big teams already, this might help you. So what I teach my managers through training or even through management on permanent teams once they make it past the training, what I teach them is you're there for the person. You're there for the person that we're developing. We want to make their success easy, okay? But you're not a micromanager. Your job is to micromanage process, metrics, and standards, not people. People, we're there to support them and develop them. We're there to give them guidance and give them all the tools and resources that they need and make sure that we're giving them the opportunity to be successful. We're not here to do it for them. We're not here to babysit them. We're not here to do that.
Yeah.
We're here to manage process. We manage process, not people. We coach people. Right? Now, if they can't meet our standards because they're either a will or a skill issue, and we have to determine that. Are they not willing to become winners, or do they not have the skills to become winners? If they don't have the skills, we're going to try to give them the skills. But if they're not developing the skills, then they're not willing to develop the skills.
I love that.
They don't have the competencies. They're not made for it. At that point, we use a process. We use the process to make our jobs easier and say, hey, if you can't collect $5,000 your first 30 days, you're probably just not a good fit.
Yeah, and you've established what success looks like in that time period. So going into it, they know, okay, if I do 5,000, then I'm successful. If I do over that, obviously, you know, I'm more successful. But if I hit the mark, if I fall short of the mark, then
I get those that come in and they do 10, 15K their first 30 days. We already know they're going to be a rock star. We already have our eyes on them to be closers because they just came in. They have a good attitude. They have a good mindset. They're confident. You know, they're positive people. The other ones are like, they're still learning how to adapt to our culture.
Yeah, but I like how you said that. It's either will or skill. Because when I think about the difference, like the common denominator between successful people and the difference between those who are successful and those who aren't, it literally boils down to their will. How much are you willing to endure? How much are you willing to sacrifice? How much are you willing to give? I even posted about it on Instagram, just a random thought a couple of days ago. When people say they're doing their best, what they're really saying is, this is all I'm willing to give right now, all I'm willing to do right now, because you haven't even touched your best. You're not the best, Mike. You know, every time we reconnect, I think you meet a better version of me and I meet a better version of you. You know what I mean?
Because we're always getting better, us personally.
Correct.
And the way you know is, I don't care if people don't like what I'm about to say, but it's the fucking truth. You could tell you're doing better if you're making more money. Making more money, your financial success is a direct mirror of who you are.
Yeah.
Because if you're like say, I'm not a billionaire human being, because if I was, I'd be a billionaire already. I'm just not. I'm not. Right? Dude, so what are you going to do this year in revenue?
So this year we're anticipated to close out at 2.25. A lot more optimized than we were before, a lot more tracked. We're more, we've consolidated into the markets that we know we can pull out the most per deal. And like we've looked at all the data. That was the difference. So in 2023, like we're operating a brand new company. The way that we do things, our processes, our systems, new CRM system, new team, new markets, new marketing channels, new consultants. Like it's a completely different company than what it was before. But we're anticipated to close out at about 2.25 this year. Our goal going into the year was 3 mil. So we're going to fall short just based on that, and I'll be the first to say things don't always play out the way you want them to, but progress is progress. Yeah, progress is progress, and it gives you feedback, and it's what you do with that feedback that matters for the next year. So like I said, it to me, this year, 2025, it's like having a brand new company. No one on my team that was with us in 2024 is on our team, maybe like 1 or 2 people, and one of them's my sister. You know what I mean? So kind of similar to you. But I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot going through the ups and downs, because what once worked isn't necessarily what's going to work now. And we talked about it briefly, right? You talked about, I don't know if you mind me sharing, but you talked about downsizing the office because you have a lot of space that you don't use, and that's money that you can put back on your P&L. Why not?
Yeah, well, that's something that I've been wanting to do since I moved into this office, which is going on 2 years. And no, I'm very transparent. So we have 11,000 square feet right here at the MGR building in Ontario. And it's we pay $25,000 a month for it.
$300K.
It's a Lambo. It's too much money.
It's a Lambo.
It's too much money. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're probably going to go down to half this size, which means half the cost. And I envisioned this even 2 years ago, where I wanna grow my overseas operation. Like there's no need for me to have such a big space. Half of my contractors already, I have a huge bullpen. Half my contractors are already working from home. Some of them live up the hill. Some of them live in Orange County. I got some that moved to LA, and like they're not gonna drive all the way over here.
Yeah, and might as well, if they're gonna operate virtually, might as well get the advantage of working with someone overseas.
And you know what's crazy is, from my top 6 collectors, top 5, 6, only 1 comes to the office in my whole company. So out of my top 5, 4 of them work from home. So that's like you would say, oh, the top performers are in the office. They're actually not.
Could they do better if they were here full time?
Fuck, bro, their numbers amaze me already. I doubt it. I think they're more focused at home. I really do.
Interesting.
But I've spoken to them. They went to Cancun with me. They were like my top collectors for the year. And we had a lot of time to spend time together. And they told me, they're like, no, we lock ourselves in a room. And we're just pounding the phones, getting calls all day. So what's your plan for growth in the next 12 and 24 months?
Just to offer solutions that we've created for our company to others. So AI is huge. I've been investing a lot into AI development. Even in the market now, I'm invested pretty heavily in NVIDIA. So anything AI, I'm going to be all over it. It's the future. It solves a lot of problems when it comes to process. And a lot of small businesses aren't dialed into process. That's the thing, right? They manage the people, not manage the process, like you said. So this is going to be a way for us to solve those problems for small businesses. We've done it already in our company, from lead gen to outbound to appointment setting. Like all that now is automated, right? We're using AI for that. So just focusing on creating a better machine, being more systems than people. Because for me, the biggest lesson I learned last year was less is more. You don't necessarily need more people to grow revenue. Focus on building the things that they pay dividends. Because once I develop it, that's it. It's mine. It works. It's there. But once I develop a person, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be there forever. You know what I mean? Yep. And that time you just never get back. And that effort, that carries a cost. And the opportunity cost of developing this person and having that person leave and take along everything you taught them and the time that you invested, it's in the hundreds of thousands. It's not just salary or marketing or systems. Like, how much more could I have made if I spent that time talking to sellers? Let's just say, we do $500,000 a month right now, just using technology. Yeah.
Using ringless voicemails. We're automation and workflows for decline payments and reminders and things like that. And my goal, and I know I'm going to get there, my goal is to be doing at least $1 million a month from technology by March. in the next 6 months, and I know I'll probably get there sooner than that. I feel like I just discovered fire. So some quick some quick numbers, right?
Yeah.
So we do 100,000
Discovered fire.
ringless voicemails deposits
A
day. Okay, so my conversion is from there. My conversion is 0.0002. No, I'm sorry. 0.002. It's 20 basis points of a percentage. That's my conversion. Okay. And my expense.
So that comes out to 2 a day or 20? I'm trying to do the math.
I don't know, bro. But
If you're selling
I ran the
100,000.
numbers.
Okay.
I ran the numbers.
Yeah.
Like what is from there and our costs and everything. Like I'm talking about from a high level.
Yeah.
That is my conversion. Like that's what we're generating. Those are the amount of calls that are coming in. Like from the deposits, that's the incoming calls that we're getting. That's the conversion. But from there, my cost is 17% as of last month of my revenue. So from 500K, I spent 17%.
That's
cost.
85,000.
So my profit was 415,000. Not my profit, my gross profit. My gross profit from there. Because my teams generated 500K. From 85 grand, we generated 500K. All right. So all that to say, yesterday we ran numbers and I'm just testing SMS using a short code. The short code was very expensive. It took me 4 months to get it approved, but I finally got it done. And we've been testing it the last week. And I ran on a small scale, I ran those numbers and I was at 0.025. So 2.5% callback conversion. It's through the roof.
Yeah.
It's through the roof. So now what I have to calculate is what's my ROI? How much am I spending there in comparison to what my revenue is going to be? But I'm anticipating, because it's just a little bit more expensive than ringless voicemail, I'm anticipating that it's going to be much higher. Like not just my cost, but my revenue, right? So it'll probably balance out. Yeah,
but very few people have like the willingness to spend 85,000 on something to see the 500K, you know, like at what point did it click? And at what point did you say, this is working, I'm going to scale it? Where did you spend 10K and say, let me test it out? Like, how does Mike Martinez, like, how do you fund your ideas?
We started off, I set targets. So we have to be monitoring it and I have to have at least a 10X return minimum, but I shoot for 20 or above. So when we test it, I'll throw a certain amount at it. Like right now, we started testing SMS with $1,000, $1,000. I see the success already. So I already authorized us to go 4 times on it. So now my next campaigns, I'm going to spend $4 grand in a week. That's in a week, $1,000 in a week. Now I'm going to spend 4. If everything, we're going to monitor, we're going to measure. If everything looks good, I'm going to double that number. So from 4, I'm going to jump to 8.
A week.
Now,
32.
16.
Yeah.
32. Before I know it, I'm spending another 100 grand. But throughout the whole time, I'm monitoring the results.
And you're seeing where the bell curve is, right? Yeah.
So if something's off, okay, why are we off? Is it the message?
Yeah.
Is it my closers? Are we getting missed calls? Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
You know? Amir, I really want to thank you, bro, for your time, for coming out
Appreciate
all the way
you.
from Orlando to see me. No, it's not just to see me.
Well,
But
big part of it. Definitely big part of it, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man. We could talk all day, honestly. I'm just saying.
I know.
But
I know. Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Tell them where they can find you.
So you guys can find me on Instagram. I'm pretty active there. My Instagram handle is CEO Amir Halali. I post business, mindset, real estate, cars, if you guys are into that. If not, then you're gay. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I'm launching a YouTube podcast with my boy Angel Garcia. So give him a follow too, Angel Garcia, CEO. We're going to talk about business, real estate, investing, tech. We're going to interview people like Mike, so you got to come on our podcast.
Angel's been here.
Yeah.
Angel's been here.
Yeah. So
thanks again, bro. I really appreciate you, big dog. And one of my very good friends in real estate and wholesaling and just an amazing businessman. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. How did you guys like the podcast? And I'll see you guys next time, Monday with Mike. Let's get it.
Appreciate you, man.